know what I find is interesting? People that's complaining about Gucci and about these other white businesses that is displaying the coon, or what they refer to as blackface. But while they're out there protesting or trying to protest, this is a picture that they're sharing of Floyd Mayweather. Why are they sharing this photo of Floyd Mayweather? Because Floyd Mayweather made a comment that he refused to be a follower. Now, I've made videos in the past talking about not betting on black and talking about how black folk need to leave blackness alone. And of course, I had people that agreed with me. I had people that pushed back and disagreed with me. And of course, there's black people that's gonna refer to me as a coon. The same thing that they're allegedly protesting about. Now, I say allegedly because the people that screaming the loudest about protesting and boycotting are people that don't even support that business anyway. You don't see any black people, not that many, unless they're wearing bootleg. You don't see that many black people wearing Prada and all of these other name brand clothing that's displaying racism, open racism. Now, I mentioned in a video, a couple of videos of the past, where these big businesses are using black people for free advertisement because they know who their customer base is. See, when you know your customer base, you don't have to worry about those that's sitting on the sideline crying, talking about boycott, because you don't have their business anyway. They don't support you anyway. That's like I make a comment or I do something that someone don't like, and then they say, we support your business. We was the one that got you where you are. We support you, and now you're gonna go to XYZ. Well, I've never seen you in my store. You've never supported me. Maybe somebody else that maybe you're connected with supported me, but you didn't. So, and then you try to encourage others not to support, although you've never spent your money. And Floyd mentioned something like that in the article that I'm going to post on the bottom. I'm going to post the article on the bottom and listen to what Floyd Mayweather said. He said he's happy, he's enjoying his life, he's going to keep buying these products. That's what he wants, and he's not a follower. He's correct. And because of the fact that he refused to follow the crowd, this image right here is what was created about. And I hear so many blacks talk about, oh, I'm done with Floyd. I'm done with Floyd. Why? Because he chose to be an individual. He chose to think on his own, have his own mind, and not follow the crowd. What's wrong with not following the crowd? What's wrong with not being a leader? And see, that's why Floyd have what he have and you don't have what he have, because of the different mindsets. And that's why black Americans are always going to remain on the bottom. It's like wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, just going in circles in the wilderness until you die off. And I mentioned that in my last video, how blacks are like the Israelites that's in the wilderness until you die off, because you're good for nothing and you're not even good for yourselves, because you hate yourself so much that you hate and destroy each other. Now, why would you, if I have the money to buy Prada or Fendi or whatever, and I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor, and you're not supporting that business, why you want to mess up my happiness? See, because you don't have the funds to support that. You don't buy that product. So why you mad? Especially if black people refer to each other as coons and blackface, because that's all a blackface is a coon. So if now you're calling Floyd Mayweather a coon because of the fact he chose to be an individual, what does that say for you? So I agree with Floyd Mayweather. I agree with him 210% and care less what anybody say. Because at the end of the day, you don't pay my mortgage. Of course, I don't have a car note because my car is paid up. But you don't pay my mortgage. You don't put money in my bank account. And there's only maybe a handful of you that click on the PayPal link and donate to my channel. So if I choose to support Trump, the Republican Party, and even if I choose to go inside Prada and all of these other businesses that black people are saying to protest and boycott, well, you're not putting any money in my pocket. Just like Floyd Mayweather said that the people that are crying the loudest are the ones that never supported, Money Mayweather. Those are the ones that never supported. Now you may support with your mouth. See, because black people got mouth, boy, they got mouth game. They know how to talk. Make you feel good with their words. But you have not reached in your pocket. But yet, when somebody gets famous and successful, you want to take credit for what they did, for their hard work and their labor. And if you look at a lot of the R&B artists, even hip-hop artists, a lot of black people, a lot of rap artists and R&B are supported by white people. You'd be surprised the number of white people that buy hip-hop or rap music or R&B. And I almost guarantee you they buy more of it than black people do. So when black people feel like I'm not going to support you no more because we did this for you and we did this for you and we supported you here. And see, that's why sometimes it's not good for black people to support you. Because somewhere down the line, they're going to use that against you. It's going to come back up. So sometimes it's good for black people to keep their money. And if you have people of other races, white people, Asians, or whoever that choose to support your channel or support what you're doing, then let them support you. Let them be your supporters. Let them be your bread and butter, because if you wait on black people, you're going to go hungry, you're going to go broke, and you're going to end up in one of them care commercials with flies around you, eating slop that somebody donate to you, because black people do not support black people. But they're the first ones that always want to try to boycott somebody. You don't have nothing, but you always want to try to mess up what somebody else had. You didn't work hard and get to where this person is. You're still on the bottom. But the only thing that you know how to do is boycott and try to close people down. That makes you feel good, to close somebody down or to boycott them or to stop them from making money. See, that's black people. So sometimes it's good to not even receive support from black people. See, it's just like my business. When I first opened my business, man, it took almost 2 years to get black people to come in and support me. And when they did come in, they wanted something discounted or for free. Always, I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna come back and support you. And I'm sure every black business owner heard that story. I'll be back to support you. Hook a brother up. But then when the white people came in and started supporting, I remember, never forget, and I told this story before. My store was empty, and I'm sitting there watching the Arabs, brand new Arab stores open up, and day one, before they can even open the door, the parking lot was full of black people. Going there buying their wings and their beer and all this other stuff, blunts, you know, supporting the Arabs. And I'm sitting there watching this, and my store was open for 2 years. And you can hear crickets. You can hear the heartbeat of an ant on the floor or on the wall. That's how quiet it was in my store. But I kept pushing through, right? And then one day a white dude walked in there, old white dude that owned the bar. And he just started buying up stuff. And I asked him, I said, why are you buying this? And he said, because I want you to stay open. He said, I understand businesses that open up. He said, I just want you to stay open. He said, if you ever want to come and set up, in my bar, come and, he said, you can feel free to do that. A white dude did that. But black people, whenever they came in, I remember this dude came in, bought $1 bottle of water, and didn't want to pay the sales tax on it. Looked at me, you charging me tax? Yeah, man. And the sad thing about that, I had to show the dude my tax certificate. I don't know of any other people that have to show your tax certificate to show them that I have to pay taxes. And from that point on, dude never came back in my store. But yet, black people always want to be the first to want you to join their bandwagon to protest and boycott somebody. And they don't have nothing. They don't support you. They're quick to say, I'm going to tell everybody not to support you, but they never supported you. That's the mindset, the mentality of black people. So how is black people gonna criticize Prada and all these other white businesses that's using black people for advertisement because black people are emotional? You know how to, get emotion and start spreading information. They don't have to pay for advertisement because you did it. And from what I hear, this stock went up. When they introduced that coon or that blackface, their stocks went up because black people started protesting. They started advertising. I remember, and I'm gonna close it. There was this movie, one of the latest Tales from the Hood. They had this little white girl and this black girl that went inside this store that sold a lot of old slave paraphernalia, right? Or whatever you call it, right? And she fell in love with the little coon doll, and they broke in. But anyway, the doll ended up coming to life and killing the girl because it had some ancestral spirits on it, right? But there's a lot of white people. That show was supposed to be a horror / comical show, but it's had a lot of truth in it because you got a lot of white people out there that love to collect things like that because it's historical. See, that's historical. That energizes certain white people because it helps them to remember the power they had and still have over black people. And the only thing black people could do is cry and want to boycott and don't even realize that you're helping them out by even giving it your energy. So this is what they did with Floyd Mayweather. 50 Cent did this. And I think 50 Cent is just jealous. Either he's jealous of Floyd Mayweather or he wants Floyd Mayweather. I think he got some type of fixation on Floyd Mayweather. Right? So, but this is what they did to Floyd Mayweather, all because of the fact that he want to think as an individual and not follow the crowd. So feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe. Until next time, I'm fearless.